Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. I am so happy to be filming today. I haven't filmed in so long. It feels like maybe not that long for y'all, but it feels like forever for me. I am back with, probably you can tell, not the strongest voice. I am back with COVID, slightly darker hair, and a wedding ring. If you don't keep up with me on Instagram, then you probably wouldn't know that I got married. And then right after, we both got COVID. So our honeymoon was literally laying in bed with COVID. I am back on the mend now. Obviously, I feel better or I wouldn't be filming, but you can probably still hear it in my voice, so apologies for that as I film this video. But today we're going to be tier ranking all of the 170 books that I read this year so far in 2023. I'm anticipating reading at least like 10 more in this month of December. I'm gonna really push it for the last month of the year, the last couple weeks of the year. I really want to get to 180 books. I don't know why, just it's a number that pleases my brain. So I will probably read more, but I'm gonna tier rank every single book that I've read up until this point. And before we get into it, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Dossier. If you haven't heard me talk about Dossier on my channel before, then I will let you know they are a luxury perfume brand at a discounted price. And when I say discounted, like, I mean really discounted. They have iconic scents with designer quality and no markups. That is their mission. And right here I have one of my favorites from them. I believe this is like a newer one from them. It's called Woody Chestnut and it smells exactly like Replica by the Fireplace, which I love that one from Sephora. Oh my god, yeah, it smells so good. If you like a slightly more masculine, musky perfume, which I definitely do, you will love this for the winter especially. And I don't have $200 to buy the Replica one, but I do have $29 to buy the Dossier one. And for the holidays, they have great sales going, like up to like 55% off, something like that. It's crazy. They also have some classic scents. For example, this is one of their most popular ambery vanilla, and it smells exactly like YSL's Black Opium. That is Dossier's thing. They will get you those scents that are so luxury and so expensive from Sephora, but for such an affordable price without sacrificing the quality at all. I seriously get so many compliments anytime I wear a Dossier scent. They never irritate my skin. They last a really long time, and I just love them. Why waste money when you can get the same thing for so much cheaper? So if you're interested in Dossier and you want to check out their holiday sales, as always, I will link them down below. Thank you so much again to Dossier for sponsoring this video. And now let's go ahead and get into the tier ranking. All right, so here we have my tiers. I have all 170 books that I've read down here at the bottom, and I'm going to be sorting them into these categories. Starting out at the top with all-time faves. These are not just like books that I liked this year, but books that I absolutely loved that have made it into my all-time favorites. Below that, we have I highly recommend, and those are like gonna be 4.5 and 5-star books that aren't all-time favorites, but I really, really would encourage you to read. The middle category is just, it was good. I didn't have a bad time. I enjoyed myself while I was reading it. I don't regret reading it, but it didn't make it into those two top categories. Below that, we have It Was Meh. This is gonna be something that is forgettable, something that I was bored with, or something that had something that I actively disliked, but I still thought that it was a good book. And then the last category, we have trash books, either books that I just really didn't like for my own preferences or books that I think are objectively trash. So starting out here, we have Talia. This is an extreme horror book about a killer woman, and this was good. I read this on a plane and it kept me really entertained. So I mean, you can take that what it is. It's extreme horror. It's nothing like super deep. It's not something that I haven't read before. It feels like every other extreme horror book. And that's the thing about extreme horror, like they're always trying to do something different, but really all extreme horror books are doing the same thing. So while it's not basic in the scheme of books, I think this is a pretty basic extreme horror book. Next up we have The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. I am gonna also say that this one was really good. I think it was well written if you like weird YA horror with a queer twist. Next up we have The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Eric LaRocca. This is a queer horror short story collection, and that is one of my new all-time favorites. I absolutely love that collection. There are a couple stories that just those tiny 10-page stories on their own could be full feature films, and I would be entertained the entire time. Whatever Remains of Us in the End, I highly recommend. It's kind of like a little bit all over the place with the plot, but I think that makes it really interesting. There are different elements of like haunting, home invasion, witches, like lots of different stuff if you like kind of like quirky collective horror. Into the Wolf's Den by John Athan, I would also highly recommend, but only if you like extreme horror. Slice of Cherry, I would highly recommend this book. This was such fun, quirky, magical realism, YA horror, so good. Any Man by Amber Tamblyn, also highly recommend. That one was really, really good. Really heavy commentary on rape culture, but if you can handle that, really, really important book. Killjoy by Holly Jackson was good. Nothing really to write home about. It's the prequel to the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. A Certain Hunger. Now this one was so good. I highly recommend A Certain Hunger if you like Good for Her especially. Akamef was good. I really liked Akamef. Not much to say about it. It was just really good. It was entertaining and fun. Blackness Absolute was really good. I liked that one. Shared by Two by John Athan, I highly recommend. That one was amazing. One of the few extreme horror books that actually has meaningful and worthwhile commentary, in my opinion. Autumn Crow High, Fresh Hell, I loved this one. I highly recommend it if you want like a nostalgic horror read. Unboxed by Brianna Morgan was really good. I liked it. Very, very short novella written as a play. I liked it a lot. Daymares was also good. Short story collection about creepy children. I would say about half I really liked, half I didn't. Dead Inside by Chandler Morrison is obviously an all-time favorite. I mean, if you haven't heard me rave about Dead Inside, go back and watch some of my videos from like July and August when I read this book. I'm sure I like went off about it in my wrap up. I also featured it in a horror vlog, and I just absolutely love Chandler Morrison and what he does for, I'm not even gonna say horror, I'm just gonna say like literature. I think he's really talented. The Last Word, I highly recommend. I feel like if I was doing this tier rank when I actually read The Last Word, I would have just put it in the good category, but after my own personal experience, I feel like I have to highly recommend that book. It got a little too real. People who say, oh my god, this book is so ridiculous and over the top, they're wrong. Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison, highly recommend. That one's so good. 13 Stories was meh. It was just okay. I think the ending was really great, but was it all worth it just to get to the ending? I don't know. Truth or Dare, honestly, I don't remember what happens in this book. It was meh. Strange Sally Diamond, this one was so good. I just recently read it and I highly recommend it. If you like any type of thriller, but especially one that goes really, really dark and has fucked up family drama and secrets, you will love that one. You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. This is unfortunately one of my worst of the year. Court of the Vampire Queen was meh. I mean, it was smut. It got the job done. That's really all. The Only Survivors, y'all, I kind of thought that was trash. I'm not gonna lie. I think I rated it like 3 stars when I read it. I don't remember any part of it, and honestly, I just don't have time for thrillers like that anymore. Trash. Drowning, ooh, that one was good. I do recommend that one, but I don't think it's quite enough to go into the highly recommend category because I have another one that I'm gonna compare to that and put it in that category. You just wait. The Island, obviously it's Natasha Preston, trash. The Big Score. This one I read on Patreon Sprints. It was so fun reading this. It was not, okay, there's lore behind this. First of all, I'm gonna put it in meh. The whole story behind The Big Score is that we were talking about reading hockey romance diversely and how it's kind of hard to do that. There's not a lot of hockey romances by diverse authors. So Deja was looking up Black hockey romance and she found The Big Score. So we all just like paused our current reads and started reading The Big Score on Sprints, and it was kind of hilarious, kind of iconic. It was not the best written, but I got a really big kick out of it, so it was meh. Writing Retreat, I'm sorry, this one was bad. Like, I don't know what y'all are on about, the people who like it. It was bad. Y'all people cannot be dragging The Last Word and then liking The Writing Retreat. I'm sorry. The Last Word was so much better written, so much more engaging, and had very few less plot holes than The Writing Retreat, and I will die on that hill. Big Bad by Chandler Baker was good. Little horror novella. Mother by S.D. Lines was also good, especially if you like a Lisa Jewell fucked up family type of situation. Tales from the Cafe, I highly recommend. Only the Stains Remain, if you like something dark and cathartic about revenge, I highly recommend that one. Baby Teeth, I love Baby Teeth. Baby Teeth has got to be like one of my favorite creepy children books, and that's one of my favorite tropes, so that's how you know it's good. This is a Fear Street book, the first Scream. I say that one was really good. I like that one. It's the first one in the Fear Park series. Night Bitch. Ooh, you know what? Night Bitch would have been in the all-time favorite category if I hadn't read another book very similar to it that kind of dethroned it. I did give it 5 stars and I highly recommend it, but it's not going in the all-time favorite category, which if you would have told me that at the time I read it, I don't think I would have believed you. Last One Alive was meh. Slasher, fun time, no thoughts, head empty, but a lot of misogyny. Dead of Winter, I highly recommend. I haven't talked about this book at all. It was my first Darcy Coates and I absolutely loved it. I devoured it. It was amazing. Midnight is the Darkest Hour. I'm gonna say it was good. For me, it was fabulous, especially after talking to Ashley Winstead about it and like hearing her thoughts on my theories of the book, which got validated, which I feel very happy about. But I know it's going to be controversial for a lot of people, so I wouldn't actively like highly recommend it widely. The Resurrectionist, kind of the same thing. It's very controversial, but I really liked it. I wouldn't necessarily widely recommend it, but I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's extreme horror, so be careful, but if you want something really dark and thrilling, that's it. Oh my god, everyone in this room may someday be dead, will someday be dead. I love this book. It's one of my all-time favorites. Not something I talk about a lot, not something that I like over the top recommend, but I do in fact over the top recommend it. Under One Roof, oh god, that was trash to me. I'm sorry, I hated that little novella from Allie Hazelwood, and I like Allie Hazelwood. Before Your Memory Fades, that's a new favorite of all time. I love that series. Translated magical realism series, starts with Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Lovely Girls by Margot Hunt was really good. I liked that thriller a lot. It's Me, Charlie. I mean, it was good, but it didn't really do much. Like, the more that I think about it, the more that I'm like, what even happened in that book? It was kind of forgettable for me, looking back on it. It was fun in the moment, but it did not stick with me really at all. So I'm gonna put it in the meh category, actually. Next up, we have The Haunting by Natasha Preston. This was the Natasha Preston that actually really surprised me and I liked it. I'm gonna put it in the good category. Who could have seen that coming? Not me, not I. but she was good. I don't know. It takes place on Halloween night. There's a lot of like Halloween coded activities. It was a lot of fun. Sweet Pea was good for me. I really liked it. Good for her serial killer vibes. All the, what is this? All the Dangerous Things. Yeah, meh. I mean, I literally just said meh. But no, you know what? I just like actively didn't like this book at all. I'm going to put it in trash. I don't think that book is necessarily trash. I just think I don't like it. And that's what the I don't like it category is called. Blacktop Wasteland, we got to go all the way up to the top. Y'all know. That's an all-time favorite for me. I am obsessed with that book. My Darkest Prayer, I highly recommend. Just like pretty much all of S.A. Cosby's books. I do highly recommend them. Ooh, Everyone Here is Lying. I actually loved this one. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I haven't seen many people talk about it, but that's a 5-star thriller. Feed Them Silence was good. I think I gave it 3.5. I liked it a lot. The Perfect Ruin. Come on. We gotta move her up. All the way up. We are taking her to the top. The Perfect Ruin is my best thriller of the year. Should I just say it? Yeah. That is my favorite thriller of the year. The Perfect Ruin by Shanora Williams. Best bitch I'm gonna snatch your life thriller I've literally ever read in my life. Good Bad Girl. I liked it. I thought it was good. I think the people who don't like that book very, very like strongly, I think they don't understand messaging and themes and nuance in literature. Yes, it's a thriller, but that doesn't mean that it has to be going at a breakneck pace the entire time. I think it had a really meaningful and worthwhile commentary. And next up we have The Drift, which I totally thought was trash. Yeah, that's a 1-star thriller if I've ever read one. Bad, bad, bad. All the Sinners Bleed, I highly recommend. So good. Religious trauma rep, breakneck pace, such a good thriller. Never Lie by Frida McFadden, forgettable. Meh. Ooh, The Good Sister. We gotta make our way back up here. The Good Sister is top tier. One of my favorite thrillers I've ever read. Really well fleshed out, developed main characters, really deep character relationships, and wonderful twists. Ooh, We Spread. Yep, we're going back up. Taking the Journey to the Favorite of All Time. This is a weird psychological horror book about aging, which if you're a woman is like one of the scariest things ever because you lose like all your value in the eyes of society. So really wonderful commentary there. Only One Left by Riley Sager I thought was good. Actually, should I move it up? No, you know what? When I look at this grouping of books, I feel like it belongs more with this. Petrified Women was really good for the majority of the book. I just think it was trying to do a little too much and it kind of fell apart at the end. The reading experience was good. The overall effect, I think, was meh. Ooh, next up we have Cackle. So you know where this is going. All the way up to the top. Here we go. Cackle. Easily one of my favorite books of the year. Easy one of my favorite horror books of all time. It is cozy. It has commentary. It has quirkiness, but it also has horror. Psychological horror. Horror that you probably won't understand if you're not just like a everyday woman who experiences the horrors that women experience. Crime Time. Oh my god, this one was horrible. Like horrid. Trash. Talia 2, also trash. Oh my god. Who wants to go through with the boob counter and count how many times Daniel J. Volpe says something about boobs? It's way too many. A Welcome Reunion for me was actually meh. I don't feel like it added a ton to the story of A Perfect Child. Someone Had to Do It by Amber and Danielle Brown. We're moving up to the top here. Also one of my favorite thrillers of the year. So good. If you like rich people drama and a side of smut in your thrillers, you will love Someone Had to Do It. The Rewind, oh my god, that was trash. The New Year's Eve romance that didn't take place on New Year's Eve and nothing fucking happened. Scream for Us. Y'all, that's a good book. I'm sorry. That's a good book. And that's how you know, like, these bottom two categories, like, for shame. Scream for Us, the fucking smut Halloween masked killer book, is higher than your books. So y'all really need to take a look at yourselves. Spider Sight, I highly recommend. Another creepy kid book that I just devoured. Loved it so much. Read it in one night. Mukbang Princess is literally 10 pages long. Feels kind of lazy. I had a good time with it, but it's just meh. Like, how much can you do in 10 pages? You know what I mean? Yellow, absolutely trash. Horrible. Not good. Not effective. Book lovers, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be an Emily Henry girly, but I highly recommend Book Lovers. I love that book. I just think it's so heartwarming and so real. I loved it. The Last Invitation by Darby Kane, I thought was good. I had a good time with it. Again, like, feminist, good for her thriller vibes. The Prisoner by B.A. Paris, y'all, trash. Like, I'm scared of this book, and not in like a fun thrillery way, in like a, I'm scared that this type of thing can get through and be traditionally published. Like, what's going on? Full Brutal, oh my god, Full Brutal. You know where we're going. You know where we're going with Full Brutal. We're really gonna have to move her up to the all-time favorites, where she belongs. Disseverment, this one also for me was a cultural reset. Favorites of all time, I fear favorites of all time. Like, she must reside there. Just the Nicest Couple, I thought it was good. I liked it. It's like on par with The Only One Left and Lovely Girls for me. Such Sharp Teeth, please, Such Sharp Teeth. So good. Such Sharp Teeth has to go up in my all-time favorites. 7 Days in June, I highly recommend. One of my favorite romances of the year, but I don't think I can crack into my favorites of all time. I don't know. It's just, it's not to that level. When I think of her, I think of best of the year, not best of my life. Spare Room was so much fun. Oh my gosh, that's a fun thriller. It was so good. It is the bisexual thriller. If you are a bi girl, read The Spare Room. Meet Me at the Lake. Okay, I'm sorry. This one was tedious. It was very tedious. It was hard to get through. And for me, it was trash. And that's just the way it is. Not So Perfect Strangers by L.S. Stratton. Such a good thriller. Highly recommend. It was a 5-star, easy 5-star. Again, this is one that I think of like best of the year, but not best of all time. Doesn't take away how much I love it and how much I highly recommend it though. None of This Is True. Slay. Highly recommend. I know this one is like hotly contested. I feel like it's maybe in the running for some of my best of the year. I don't know how people will feel about that, but guess what? It's my fucking channel. Allegedly, Tiffany D. Jackson. I highly recommend. That one was so well done. Super dark for a YA thriller. Like, I think this is for adults. If you usually stay away from YA, don't stay away from Tiffany D. Jackson. She's phenomenal. Wrong Number. I thought that one was really good. The Wrong Number duology is, that's some of my favorite of all the Fear Street books. Anybody Home. Oh my god, Anybody Home. Anybody Home is a cultural reset for me. We are moving it up at the top. The X by Frida McFadden was literally so meh. I remember nothing about it other than it entertained me while I was getting my nails done. That's all. Practice Makes Perfect. It was good. It was good. No complaints. It was fine. When the Reckoning Comes, now that one I highly recommend. Slay horror. So good. Spy Family, I highly recommend. I'm not even a manga girl, and it kind of low-key got me into manga for a second, so I would recommend that to people wanting to try out manga. Okay, Slaughterhouse-Five, I feel like I can't put in the trash category or people are gonna like take my literature card away, so I'm just gonna put it in meh. But for me, just know in my heart, it's trash. Five Survive was good. It was a good fun time, very fast paced, very fun. Falling, I highly recommend. This is the one that I wanted to compare to Drowning. I think Drowning was good. I think Falling was better. Happy Place, I also highly recommend this one. Sorry, I'm an Emily Henry girl. Disco Death Trap was good. It was so much fun. Easy to read slasher. They All Died Screaming. Please do not talk to me about this book. I love Christopher Triana, but what the fuck was this, sir? Did he get like kidnapped and held somewhere and forced to write this trash book? It was so bad. Oh my god, guys. Whoa. Here we go. It's the moment. It's the moment. We're ranking my best book of the year. I don't think that's a secret. I think everyone knows at this point. How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix is my best book of the year. Oh my god, look at this pretty little line of books. I love all of you so much. You are my children. You are my babies. Okay, Never Coming Home was meh. It was giving me nothing, really. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I thought was good. I really liked that one. I also liked the movie. Did I like the book better? I like different things about the book and the movie. 100% Match, I highly recommend. If you like extreme horror that doesn't go to like a creep factor place, that just goes to like a, hey, this is really effective horror, but I'm not actually having an existential crisis about misogyny. Yeah, read that. Goddess of Filth, for me, was meh. I know everybody likes this one. I wish I could force myself to feel about it the same way that everybody else does, but it just didn't have the same effect on me. Them, oh my gosh, highly recommend for extreme horror lovers. Only intense extreme horror lovers though. Like, that is a crazy book. It is so good though. So well written. Then I Woke Up, for me, was meh. A lot of it flew over my head, and I just don't think that that's necessary. I just think that we can really put things in plainer terms. I think we can all just get over ourselves a little bit. Ankle Snatcher was good. I liked it. Same thing with It Waits in the Woods. Literally same. If I tell you, okay, this kind of gave me ick. I can't lie. This gave me ick. I'm not going to say that it was trash, because that was somebody's experience. This is a true crime book, if you didn't know. It's meh to me because I don't like the way that true crime book was written. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. What Lies in the Woods, I'm going to put it right next to like The Only One Left, Good Bad Girl. Yeah, it gives me those vibes. It belongs with those books. Virgin Night was good. Again, a little funny, little quirky little slasher. I read a lot of slashers this year, but you know what? I love them. So there we go. Oh, The Heiress was so good. Actually, like, shocked me how much I loved The Heiress. I feel like she deserves a spot up here. She gets to be in highly recommend. I actually highly recommend The Heiress. I have never highly recommended a Rachel Hawkins book. This is her moment. Okay, The Heiress, she really did it with that book. It's so good. The sun is setting, so sorry if I'm harder to see. Maybe I should get a little bit closer. Okay. Hi there. Small Town Monsters was fine. It was a good way to like entertain myself, but am I going to remember it? Probably not. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, for me, was meh. I did not love the connection between the characters. They just felt like friends to me. Fantasticland, whoa. Put the pause button on. Fantasticland. This is a fictional horror book, but when I tell you, it's real in my heart. Like, this is a documentary in my heart. This is nonfiction. This is true crime. Like, it's real. It happened. It scared the freaking bejesus out of me. And yeah, we know right where this is going. My all-time favorite books, because that's where she belongs. I love her. Love Miss Fantasticland. Her Body and Other Parties, I highly recommend. That was my favorite short story collection for a while, until I read The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. So I'm going to leave that one in the top spot. Still Beating was good. Dark Romance, only Dark Romance that I read for the year, I think. But I enjoyed it. The Housemaid, come on. Come on. Trash. Plagiarist trash, allegedly, but plagiarist trash. Oh, this is where we talk things fucking out. This has the best trauma rep I've probably ever read from. Like, so good, so good. I can't believe it's so good. It is psychological horror to a T. Yeah, that's what I have to say. We're putting her in all-time faves. obviously she belongs nowhere else but all-time faves. Like, it would be a crime to put her anywhere else. It came from the closet. I would highly recommend this. The Secret Bedroom, I actually remember this one being especially good for Fear Street. I'm gonna put it in good. Housemaid's Secret. You know, the whole thing was really started on a lie, allegedly. So I'm just gonna put her down there because, come on, it's a lie. Aquawar was good. It was fun. There was a lot of lore building, lore of the Fae, and you know what? I was down for it. Only Psychos to me was meh. It was a slasher, but it's not memorable at all, and it had some odd elements to it. Grandpappy, I thought was good. Don't know if I would highly recommend that one, but it was good, yeah. Beyond the Wand, it was good. It's a memoir. I would recommend it to fans of Harry Potter and fans of Tom Felton. If you are not, I don't think you're going to get a ton out of it. Like, there are some memoirs, you know, that you don't have to be a fan of the person to enjoy. This one I don't think is that, although I did have fun with it. I actually listened to it when I had COVID like a week ago. The Villa for me was meh. That's just typical Rachel Hawkins meh for me, except for the Heiress. The Heiress is her standout. The Quiet Tenant, I thought was so good. I got like a feeling reading The Quiet Tenant. We're moving her up to highly recommend. Broken Dolls. Okay, come on, we can do better than that. Women of the Year, also, come on. Why are we doing this? We can do better than that. Hate when an author has such great potential, like they've written a 5-star book for me, and then they turn around and write something like that. Like, come on, girl. Look Closer by David Ellis. I thought this one was really good. I'm gonna put it in the good category because it was good. And that is also where The Devil Crept In is going, right next to it, because I also love that one. I thought it was really good. Everything the Darkness Eats for me was meh. It kind of did the same thing as Then I Woke Up, where there was just like a little too much going on that I was like, okay, this is just like weird for the sake of being weird and pretentious for the sake of being pretentious. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to write in circles. You can just tell me what's going on. What Have We Done? I completely forgot everything that happened in this book. Like, I remember nothing about it. I can recall 0 plot points. She was forgettable. Ice Planet Barbarians. Ice Planet Barbarians? Hear me out. Hear me out. It was good. It was good. Like, this goes with Scream for me. I liked it. I thought it was enjoyable and fun and good. Along the River of Flesh, oh my god, this book absolutely fucking slayed. You never know with the sequel, you know, it could be just like getting your hopes up and then not as good as the first book. But for me, Along the River of Flesh didn't feel gratuitous. It didn't feel like a cash grab like a lot of extreme horror sequels feel like. Just kind of like trying to capitalize on the success of the first book. No. It was its whole own thing. It took the story of Gone to See the Riverman and brought it to new levels. And that was one of my favorite books of last year. Along the River of Flesh, highly recommend. So fucking good. If you read Riverman based on my recommendation, please read the sequel as well. You will love it. Mother Thing, I thought was good. It was a fun little horror time with a little psychological family trauma vibe to it.
This was possibly the worst time for my laptop to run slow as fuck when I'm literally screen recording me doing this. Like, come on, what's going on?
Just Another Missing Person, no. She thought she ate, but she in fact did not. It's trash to me. I think I thought it was fine when I read it, but looking back, it was not good. There were way too many plot holes. Hyde, oh my god. Trash if I ever read it. This is the reason why nobody likes YA, and here's the thing, this isn't even a YA book. What's going on? Mayfly, I loved. Okay, she is going in the highly recommend category because it took me on a roller coaster. I, at one point, like, felt disdain for this book. I really thought it was going to be, like, a worst book of the year. And then it just took a turn and I really liked it. And then it took a turn and I hated it again. And then it took a turn and I really liked it. It took me on a journey. There was a lot to think about. I respect a book that can do that. Voyeur, I did predict the killer like from chapter 3, but I had a good time with it. It was really fast paced and fun. For the predictability though, I'm gonna put it in meh. Also, it's kind of like giving Survivor, but less. I would say if you wanted to take my Survivor by J.F. Gonzalez recommendation, but you're scared of extreme horror, start with Voyeur. The Wrong Number, I think is good. I love the Wrong Number books. Oh my God, Ring Shout. Ring Shout. We are moving this up and up and up and up and up because I highly recommend Ring Shout. If you haven't read Ring Shout yet, wow, what are you doing? Like, get to it. It gives like odd steampunk vibes. Good for her, like female killer barbarian queens. I love it. Milk Fed, whoa. Trauma Activated. You know where she's gonna go. You know where she's gonna go. This is for the bisexual girls with eating disorders. So, all-time faves, enough said. Night's Edge, whoa, we're taking the journey back to the top again. Yeah, she's a favorite. I don't know what it was. It was just something about the book, this book. Bisexual vampires. Yeah, it's always gonna get me. Ooh, You Can Trust Me. That was actually like high key one of my favorite thrillers of the year. Yeah, really good. This is another one that's like giving me favorite of the year, but not favorite of all time. Really good though, highly recommend it. Prom Queen, I remember thinking that was trash. I remember reading it and being like, no, that wasn't even excusable for a Fear Street. Like, that was just a waste of my time. Coraline, I thought was good. You know, it's a children's book. What you gonna do? Privacy, I thought was good. I remember liking that book. I don't remember like a ton about it, but I remember that I liked it. How I'll Kill You, okay, pause. We're moving this girl up. She has got to go and highly recommend. If you like a romantic subplot thriller with a female serial killer MC and a lot of inner monologuing from your main character, you will love How I'll Kill You. Court of Silver Flames, what's going on? Are y'all ready to see where this girl's gonna go? I don't think you are. I don't think you're ready for me to show you where A Court of Silver Flames is gonna go. Because when I tell you I was in tears reading this book, I don't know what happened to me. I was bewitched. I was body snatched. I am apparently a fantasy girl now. A Court of Silver Flames is one of my favorite books of all time. I love Nesta. I am Nesta. Like, if you're an oldest sister, wow. Yeah, you're gonna feel seen by Nesta. I love her. She started it, was trash. Sorry. Except I'm not. It was trash. Prettiest Girl in the Grave. There were things that I liked about it, things that I didn't. It was kind of one note. I'm gonna put it in meh. You know what? It was fine. It was fine, but I just feel like it should go in meh. I don't know. Like, I look at the books in the meh category and I'm like, yeah, that kind of belongs. It's like on the same level as Petrified Women for me. And It's Me, Charlie. Like, these are giving the same energy. Last House on Needless Street, also putting in the meh category. I know that's probably like a bold claim, like an unpopular opinion, but for me, I literally guessed exactly what was going on like chapter 2. I don't know why everyone's saying like, oh my god, this book was earth-shattering, I never could have predicted. Like, are you stupid? Sorry, that was like so harsh, but what? How did everyone not guess what was happening on like chapter 2? I feel like it was so obvious. Cursed Bunny was also meh for me. Short story collection, half I didn't like, a quarter of them I was meh on, and there were a couple that I liked, but like that's just one too many that I didn't like to be in the good category. Monstrilio, now that's a good book. That was an interesting book. Interesting take on grief horror. Sometimes grief horror can be really heavy, but Monstrilio did it really well, where it still kept like a upbeat, not like positive feeling throughout the book, but like it was so shocking that I didn't get caught up in the heavy grief of it all. Word Slut, I absolutely loved. We're gonna move Word Slut into highly recommend. I think even if you're a like typical fiction reader like me, you can totally get into Word Slut, especially if you're interested in like how misogyny impacts like your everyday life, including the language that you speak. I think Word Slut is a really great read for that. Bad Dolls, y'all. I could literally talk about this book for days, years, forever. I would die for this book. Like, please bury me with a copy of Bad Dolls. If anyone in the UK would be willing to ship me a physical copy of Bad Dolls, obviously I would pay you for it. I need a copy of this book. Someone please let me know if you can get me a physical copy. It's only available in the UK. Mothered to me was trash. Sorry, not good. Not a good thriller. The Other Mistress, I really liked the majority of the way through, but mental health twists, we don't do that anymore. So for that reason, it's going in the trash category, even though I did enjoy majority of my reading experience. Waif, that was good. That was really good, actually. Oh yeah, Waif is coming back to me now. That was one that I read on audio, and I didn't want to stop listening to it, so I kept cleaning my house for an excuse to keep listening to it. It was crazy. Goes off the rails so good. The Whispers by Ashley Audrain was good. That kind of belongs to me in the same category as The Only One Left, What Lies in the Woods, etc. Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I'm going to move this up to I highly recommend. I know that not a lot of people loved this romance. I don't know, something about it just like worked for me. That was one of my favorite romances of the year. Another addition in the Scream Park trilogy. That one was good. A Court of Frost and Starlight. I literally loved. Oh my god. I love A Court of Frost and Starlight more than the other books in the ACOTAR series, actually. I would highly recommend it. Like, I love that book. It is for the girlies who do not want to be a part of the war. They want to be a part of the lore, and that's me. Love Theoretically was really, really good. I'm going to move it up to highly recommend. It's one of my favorite, actually, of Ali Hazelwood's books. I think it's way better than Love on the Brain and all the little novellas. Our Wives Under the Sea was good. The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth was also good. Had a good time with it. The Trick or Treater, another situation very similar to Curse Bunny. Kind of half and half, but I had less ones that I would like rate 4 or 5 stars, so I'm just gonna put it in the meh category. Oh my gosh, the second book in the Cotton Candy Massacre, I'm sorry. I don't think this book is necessarily trash, but it was just such a massive letdown that for me, it was a trash experience. Run on Red is a great book if you're trying to get out of a slump. KU thriller, really, really fun. I'm gonna put it in, it was good. Nothing to really write home about, nothing impactful, but really, really fast paced. Good for, like I said, getting out of a slump. Full Tilt, I gave this one 5 stars. It's really meaningful and really intense, the horror, but actually I think very appropriate for a younger audience, which I think is hard to do. I'm gonna put it in highly recommend. Love the carnival content as well. Manhunt, for this for me was just meh. I love the representation, but the story structure needed a lot of editing. And the last one we have here is The Senator's Wife, which I think is just a good little drama-filled thriller. Nothing really to write home about. So, now that it's literally dark in here, let's go through the categories, starting with obviously my all-time favorites. I don't think any shockers really are in this category other than A Court of Silver Flames, but yeah, pretty much all of these check out. I've been talking about all of these books all year long. Maybe I don't talk as much about like this one, but a lot of these, yeah, they were like the books that I was constantly recommending all year long. The highly recommend category, screenshot this one. If you haven't taken any of these recommendations, like here's 3 full rows of books that I gave 4.5 and 5 stars that I love so much. Like I think back so fondly on my reading experiences and they all like meant something. I think that's like what separates the highly recommend from the good, is like all of these mean something, you know, like all of these had something to say and carried it out well. It was good to me. These were just a good reading experience. Like they didn't need to be anything more than that, and they weren't. Maybe they occasionally had something that I had a gripe about, but overall just not the worst books to exist. And anything in the meh and trash category, obviously I recommend that you skip, but we all have difference of opinion, so you know what, you might love it. Who am I to say? I am just a girl on the internet. Do your own thing. We made it, y'all. That is gonna be it for tier ranking every single book that I read this year so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this little experience of breaking down every single book that I've read this year in a pretty general way. Obviously, I'm gonna have more specific recommendation videos coming soon where I wrap up a little bit more specific. I'm gonna have my reading survey coming out. I'm also gonna do my most surprising and disappointing books of the year, as well as, of course, my worst and best books of the year. Hopefully, my videos this year don't get me in the same amount of trouble that it got me my last year. We'll see. Maybe I'll piss off another author and have another fucking death wish. Oh god. I don't know. You never know. Subscribe to see if I make it. Again, thank you guys so much for watching and bearing with me as I'm still in my like congested, slightly like fever haze state. I no longer have a fever, but you know, it's like that post-fever feeling where it kind of feels like you've been high. Yeah. I'm in that mode, so apologies for my weird mood, but thank you so much for being here for it. Don't forget to check out Dossier down below for some affordable, luxurious fragrances. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like this video if you liked it. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!